I don't know what else to do. I don't want to ask my community for help, but I feel like I have no other choice at this point. I would love to go get a regular job. Girl, don't get me wrong, but even then, I don't think that that's going to help my situation.
Everyone is always looking down on 9 to 5 workers, but yet when things go tough and things go wrong, these influencers are looking for the 9 to 5ers to pay their bills for them. What's poppin', everybody? It's your girl TUADIOR. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back with the jump off. So I really want to talk about the TikToker Jules Lebron, who went viral a few years ago for that phrase.
You see how I do my makeup for work? Very demure, very mindful.
And although this video is about Jules, I will say that I want to talk about the bigger conversation between influencer culture, money, and what we actually give up when we leave traditional employment. Recently, Jules came online and she made a video talking about money that she needed for a dental procedure.
My teeth are falling out of my head and I need your help. Listen, I'm very uncomfortable making this video because this is a video I thought I'd never have to make. About maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, I had a deal with a dentist and he was going to completely take out all my teeth and give me a brand new set of teeth because through addiction, my teeth are severely destroyed. And the deal ended up falling through. And for the past maybe 2 months, you guys know I've been on my own dental health journey. I've gotten, a few cavities filled. I had a root canal. And every time I go to the dentist, it's made clear to me, I'm fighting an uphill battle. Like, it's being made clear to me that no matter how much I do here, I'm gonna eventually have to take out all my teeth. And I've already spent $6,000 on this. So I don't know what else to do. I don't want to ask my community for help, but I feel like I have no other choice at this point. I would love to go get a regular job. Girl, don't get me wrong, but even then, I don't think that that's going to help my situation. Not in a dismissive kind of way, like I'm streaming every day and it's becoming very successful. I've gained a good amount of followers over just a matter of weeks. But I know that it's gonna be a few months until that's stable. And I wanted to fix my teeth on my own, but I can't like go on like this. Like every day it hurts. It hurts to drink water. It hurts to drink water, girl. Like I have a hole on each side of the upper side of my teeth, and it hurts. All my teeth are moving, and they hurt all the time. And I'm just tired of being in pain. And I hate that I have to come to the internet and ask for help because everyone's struggling, but I don't know what else to do. And I feel like such a loser for crying and being like, donate to my GoFundMe. Like, girl, I got sober. I did everything I had to do. I'm trying to like be a full-time influencer still. And clearly I don't think it's working out in the best manner, but everyone always says, reach out when you need help. I need help. I really need help.
And I'm not gonna lie, social media dragged her for heel. A lot of the outrage came because there were clips, actually even a year ago, of Jules talking about the money that she has made since the viral fame. And
I knew it was different because now it wasn't, oh, we'll give you $2,000 for a video. It was $45,000 for a video.
Many TikTok lives where she has talked about a lot of the wealth and the things that she's been able to acquire since going viral. So naturally, people went from, how do you go from making thousands and thousands of dollars online to begging average 9 to 5 people to support you in your dental procedures? So when Jules was confronted, she mentioned that she used a lot of the money to help her family. So a lot of people asked on social media, why you ain't ask them for the money? You guys are gonna make it to heaven. I hope you know that. But another big part of this conversation is Jules talked a lot about how it's actually harder for her to go to traditional employment as a viral influencer.
People, and then also, have you ever been an internet celebrity and tried to get a job? Okay. like you've never been been in that position. Why are you gonna tell me how to go get a job and you've never been in that position? I don't think I'm above getting a job. I should go get a job. I'm just saying, let's be realistic. If I couldn't get a job before, very demure because of my social media presence, because they were like, it's a conflict of interest. At triple the size of that, do you think that that's more feasible? I'm not above getting a job. If you're interviewing, I'll go. I'm not above it. I'm not above working a 9 to 5. I'll work a 9 to 5. But it's not likely to happen. Like, it's like they're gonna like, oh, Jules Lebron. Oh, you know what I mean? And it's not that I'm posting anything controversial. Most of my videos are funny, but it's like, damn bitch, you have millions of followers.
That means your only option is to literally treat your influencer career as a business, not just a place where you get income, but it actually has to be a real business. And I think that this is where a lot of, especially viral people lose the mark. We live in a culture now where everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody want to quit their job and just follow their dreams. Everybody feels that they'll make it big if they don't live in a traditional 9 to 5 job. And I understand why. Nobody wants to answer to a manager, request for time off, work with annoying coworkers, have that dreaded commute. People want their freedom. They want to be able to make money, but actually live a decent life. But I think people have gotten so caught up with the potential freedom of entrepreneurship that people have actually forgotten that the stability of having a 9 to 5 job is missed when we seek those opportunities. When you have a traditional job, you know how much you're going to make. You know that so long as you're employed, you're going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks. You may have PTO, you get health coverage, you get certain benefits that makes life slightly easier just beyond the paycheck. And whether we like it or not, that stability has value. And I'm not to say that entrepreneurship is a bad thing. I think that everyone should explore that. But what people forget is that when you trade in that stability for entrepreneurship, you got to think like a business now. And I think a lot of people forget that running a business and making a business on your own is hard work. It's not going to come with the luxury of, okay, it's 5 p.m., I got to stop. You got to work across the clock. You got to think of new strategies. You got to think of your marketing. You got to think about your competitors. It's another level of stress that maybe the traditional 9 to 5 might not give you. You might deal with the hustle and bustle, but now you got to make everything work. And honestly, that is the risk when we pursue entrepreneurship or being self made over a traditional 9 to 5 job. It's just literally, what path would you rather pursue? As a content creator, you are the business. Even if you have an agent or a manager or stuff like that, you are the business. And in the business world, things change. You are the face, you build your brand, you are what people look towards. You are the business. When you are a content creator, you are the business. There is no TikTok HR department that's going to ensure that you get paid. If you don't post the content, if you don't work, you literally don't get paid. You have to realize that when you step into that social media fame, there's nowhere to give you PTO if you get sick. You got to keep posting the content, get yourself out there, or constantly look for streams of income. I remember there was a video that I had seen on my FYP one day about a guy advocating for influencers to have insurance. And I just was so irritated by that video because everybody wants to be their own boss. But when you're a boss, you got to take care of all your businesses. So you got to go on Marketplace and look for health insurance for yourself. And you have to be the one paying that out of pocket because you are self made. And I'm not trying to say that you have to suffer just because you're self made, but those are the costs that you incur when you choose that route. With Jules, she talks a lot about the fun things that she was able to do with her money. And I think that when you work for your money, you should be able to buy the Birkins, buy the cars, buy the travel. But at the end of the day, you've got to always remember that, especially the internet fame, it's very like you have your moment. And if you don't capitalize on it and build off of it, it's literally your viral moment is what puts you out there. That's why they used to say for some influencers that were struggling that it's really good to do the grind and not go viral because you know what to work for. You actually worked for it. For Jules, they literally, they've been doing their little stuff, online, but that video really took off for them. And they may not have necessarily had a plan, when she was starting, she might not have had a plan, she might not have been able to think about like what was going to happen in the future. And that's why sometimes being viral is not always a good thing, because sometimes it puts you in a position where you're like, shoot, I got to act fast, I got to think fast, and you might not necessarily have the infrastructure or the mindset. Whereas if you were a content creator who was growing through the motions, learning to grow, you already have stuff that you've been building. You already kind of have that mindset. You prepared for this moment. And I think preparation is key. I think the reason this situation rubbed a lot of people the wrong way is we see constantly, time and time again, how influencers look down on traditional 9 to 5s. You see people who are trying to sell courses or get rich quick schemes, how they like look down on 9 to 5s. Oh, you're stuck in a 9 to 5. You're stuck in the rat race. You da 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 da. But yet again, these same influencers are the ones asking the people with the 9 to 5 to put money in their pockets. It's just so crazy. It's like you can't win for losing. I would never ever stomp on anybody because they have a 9 to 5 job. It's not everybody that I feel like is meant to be an entrepreneur. I don't think everybody is meant to be in that spotlight, because not everybody has the work ethic and the brain to sustain that lifestyle. A lot of people will not tell you that running a business is not easy. Being self made is not easy. And if you're not cut out for it, if you're not ready for the long haul that it could take, then you're not going to make it. And I don't think there are a lot of people that, although yes, 9 to 5s have their downsides. I mean, look at the job market nowadays. I do think there's a value in the stability that it provides, so long as you're able to keep your job. And it's so crazy that, everyone is always looking down on 9 to 5 workers, but yet when things go tough and things go wrong, these influencers are looking for the 9 to 5ers to pay their bills for them or to put money in their pocket. Do you know how many people in that live also have dental work that they're supposed to do, root canals, wisdom teeth pulls, all the things that they are able to skip because they don't have enough money, but yet you feel entitled for your audience to pay your money when you bragged about how much money that you've been making? I mean, it doesn't make sense. $45,000 is a lot of money, right? But not everybody has that laying around. And I don't think that, she's thinking like, oh, well, I just asked. Like, it's like lives are hard, times are time. The money's not coming as much as it used to come, but it's like that for everybody. That's how the economy is. And of course, a lot of people will say, well, you don't need to donate if you don't want to. But the point is the audacity to make your finances public, make your financial situation public, and then be in another situation and expect people not to question it. Like, you've made your finances public. You've made what you've been able to acquire since your fame very public. So people are not just going to think that if you're making all this money and you're doing well and you're growing perceptively, why are you out here begging regular people who can barely afford their own dental work for themselves to fund your lifestyle? And it's one thing if somebody is in need, right? Sometimes, people are in need, but the way it came off was like, okay, you guys need to help me. You guys need to help me. You guys need to help me. But you're the same person who was talking about how much money you've been making. It just doesn't make any sense for me. Traditional employees have to stay employable. Self-employed people have to stay marketable. It's just the way of the land. And if there's anything that I've really learned from this Jules Lebron situation, is that really this internet fame stuff, if you don't play your cards right, it can either be like a moment in time or it can really bring you down. And I think it's very important for people to realize that it's not all cracked up to be. At the end of the day, if you don't have personal finance, if you don't really know what you're doing when you go viral, it could all come crashing down. They've made so much money. They've made a lot of money to put themselves in this situation, but they've made that choice to kind of like blow it and think that the fame would be better. The algorithms have changed. TikTok has changed since she went viral. So at the end of the day, it's one of those situations that you really have to go with the trends, go with the flow. Algorithms change. And that's why you see content creators Like, especially those that have been online for a long time, they switch their vibes, they switch their persona, they switch what they do, they hop on trends because you gotta stay relevant. When the money was really good for her, she really should have sat down and thought about, what am I gonna do with this money so that I can keep making, I don't have to work, or I don't have to, should have used that money to put herself in a position so that she didn't have to be in this. The influencer economy can absolutely make somebody wealthy. It can actually change your life. It can create opportunities that a regular job may never give you. But freedom without preparation is instability very quickly. And if we're going to glorify being your own boss, then we have to talk about the entire job description, not just the part that looks good on TikTok. So let me know what you guys think about this situation. Do you agree with people? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's somewhere in the middle? I want to thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys again in the next video. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.